Freeze, sucker! You got taglines?
I'm not holding any taglines.
Spread them, bub. They were in there all along.
Vice!
You got any sharp comments that I can poke myself with in those pockets?
Nice.
Vice.
Vice. I've got two. Only two. Where nice girls become vice girls.
Nobody in this movie's nice.
No.
Yeah.
that's no.
For a good time, call a cop.
Absolutely not.
No,
They will ruin anything you have.
Yeah. They're going to raid you at 6 in the morning.
That was written by a white person.
With no reported budget and no reported gross. With 2 pairs of breasts and 3 scenes with nudity. That's it.
You mean there's no impaling in this?
With a 4.4 on IMDb and no other reported scores that I can find except for a 0% audience meter on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 1989's Vice Academy.
Pew, pew, pew.
Let's drop some bombs.
Would you dance with me? I'd rather be boiled alive. Who is there?
I'm a horny stud. Open up and let me in. I want to rape you until you split in two.
I hate old money. It's greasy, it smells. It's been up 1,000 noses and buried in too many G-strings.
Do you love me? But why do you defy me?
Because I can.
I want to show you her ass!
Hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate. If you decide to join us, make your final arrangements now. We've been dying to have you.
Welcome to Bombs Away, the only podcast recorded inside a projection booth. My name is Jonathan Young. Joining me inside the studio is Vicente Morales.
How's everyone doing?
And Tyler Rowe.
Hey, hey, hey. I don't know why I went for Fat Albert. Really, as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like,
diabetes.
Lost my legs.
Push me around the cart
I
now.
want to be on the podcast.
No.
It's Ghost Dad.
No, please. All right.
All right. Here we go. Vice Academy. This is a movie.
I say it's loose to call it that.
Yeah. First, before we get into it, I do want to remind people, if you're listening to this on the week it comes out, this Saturday, I keep doing it, this Saturday, the 23rd, is our live show for Showgirls. So, if you're in the Southern California area, and you have nothing going on, well, that sounds weird. No, you should just get there. Like, it's not like you got nothing going on. Just come out and join us 7 p.m. at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. We are taking on Showgirls, the 1995 NC-17 Paul Verhoeven classic.
It's something.
It's insane. Winner of 8 Razzie Awards and nominated for 7 more, including Worst Film of 96 and Worst Film of the Decade in the 90s. So please come out, join us. Tickets are $15, and they can be found on www.thefridacinema.org/events/bombsawaylive. We might have some special guests that we can't quite talk to you about quite yet, but there'll be some special guests that might show up, and possibly even a documentary about the movie being shot right here at the Frida. So make sure you grab those tickets. You don't want to miss out on this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to experience this crazy movie the way Paul never intended it to be experienced, but it should be. Okay? So, now, moving on from Showgirls, let's talk about another
Some girls show
nudie.
There's definitely a lot of showing.
Actually, there was a lack of showing.
Very much so.
Unfortunately. Because, to me, this movie, I'd never seen it before. I think I heard of it, but I never was able to catch it. So, who here is familiar with USA Up All Night?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
I think I was like a small child.
Okay. So, what about Joe Bob Briggs?
I'm familiar with Joe Bob.
Okay. So, same kind of concept as Joe Bob, where it's basically you have late night network commercial programming on the USA Network, right? And the movies they would buy the rights to a whole bunch of shitty movies. They had most of the Trauma library up until like basically so I think they started in '88. USA Up All Night was a thing. This is when major cable companies and Turner himself was buying up movies left and right. Didn't matter what they were. Didn't matter. It was just the fact that like we have time. I need to throw movies in their face.
Yeah.
Right. So USA Up All Night was created as an opportunity to. I think the program started around 10, right, and would literally be Rhonda Shear would take Friday nights, and she is Rhonda Shear, and then Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh God.
Would be the Saturday night. Right?
You see the tits?
That's fucking crazy. There's just titties everywhere.
They put me in a Disney movie.
Right? You see me a problem child? Ain't the fucking kid. Just soulless ginger bastard. So they would host basically the shows. So what they would do is Rhonda Shear was just like the girls in this movie, bubbly, blonde, buxom woman who'd be like, "Hi, I'm Rhonda Shear, and this is USA Up All Night, and we're gonna show Vice Academy tonight," right? And she'd literally just in between every commercial break, from the start of the commercial and the end of the commercial, would just talk about whatever you just either experienced or you're about to go into. And Gilbert would do the same thing on Saturdays, and Joe Bob would do it on his show too, the Last Drive-In. Yeah. And which that's what it is now, is the Last Drive-In. Before that it was Monster Vision in the 90s.
Monster Vision, yep.
And before that it was on not TNT.
It was
on TNT.
Monster Vision on TNT.
Right, but then before that it was the Movie Channel.
Yes.
Had it. So these were all very much like Elvira.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay,
right?
I get that.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah, because you're from over here, so
Elvira this is where I have to call in my cultural disparity.
No, that's fine.
I don't know what's going on.
No, but you understand the concept. As soon as I said Elvira, see,
I understood that.
There is a host for everyone in this realm of the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And for me, it was Joe Bob and Elvira, because we had the USA Network, right?
Yeah.
And we had TNT. Mm-hmm. And they were on at the same time.
Yeah.
Elvira was not really a thing for me as an East Coaster, but she grew in popularity after the movie came out and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we had this USA Up All Night. And USA Up All Night, because of Rhonda Shear and the fact that Rhonda was in a bunch of these movies, right, had the monopoly on these, like, really, really bad, shitty, like, skin flick comedies like this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I thought it was mostly kind of like skin flicks.
Yeah, it was like, hey, are you a lonely dude? I fucking love you. It was like one step away from just being like, call Rhonda and jack off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what it felt like. But like for me, I would watch, and this is where I got most of my trauma experience, was from them. Because Lloyd would come on the show. This is and they would show that, and then Joe Bob was showing a lot of Andy Sedaris stuff with like Hard Ticket and stuff like that, and even had Sedaris on his show to interview, right? And Sedaris is trying to be serious the whole time. Like, it's a good interview if you ever look up like Joe Bob Briggs, Andy Sedaris, and Hard Ticket to Hawaii, Malibu Express. Yeah. So basically, USA Up All Night would just show these skin flicks, to the point where basically, like, Vice Academy 1, 2, 3 would show all in the same night, right? There was many a times where they would randomly Joe would put on Friday the 13th, but they wouldn't be in they would be in random orders, or one would be skipped or something's missing because whatever the rights were, right? And he would make fun of it constantly, being like, I don't know, they're showing 3 and then we're moving to 7, but then we're going back to 4. I don't know what the hell's going on, you know?
Yeah, and he always used to shit on the fact that they were like chopped up to hell because they were on TNT and they couldn't show like anything.
Right. Yeah.
He'd be like, 4 pairs of boobies, but we can't show you. Thank you, TNT censors.
Right. So Joe, he was the inspiration for how we opened this show.
Yeah, with the
right?
countdown.
With the countdowns and the totals.
All right.
Right? And I don't... I want to say that USA and Joe Bob and things like that are the reasons why this show exists, right? And so when you're like, why'd you pick this? I picked this just because it's in that same realm of like, we've got to go there eventually.
Yeah.
You know, might as well just dip our feet in. We just talked about Linnea Quigley within the past month.
Yeah.
Right? And she comes up a lot in these B-movie movies.
Where they need someone to show their boobs.
Yeah, right?
Really, like, she's so willing.
From movies that we've done, like Silent Night, Deadly Night, to now this movie, to being on screen in Future Shock within the television.
Yeah, in Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah. To movies that I know we'll eventually get to, like Night of the Demons and Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. You know, like, she is like I think there's even a movie called like B-movie Screen Queens or something like that, right? She is the like epitome of being like, here's a woman who's not afraid to show her boobies, and it's fun.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you have to sit here as we dive into this film, and you have to give respect to the fact that, like, if there's one person that's trying in this film, it's her.
Yeah, Linnea Quigley's really like trying the hardest out of anyone else.
Yeah.
Her and maybe the male porn star.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's dive into this, but I wanted to, because this has a rich history to me of like another, not the movie itself, because I've never seen it before we did this, but it within the inspiration of, you know, what I believe that this show was when I first created it. So let's dive in and try to take on this film. Okay? So first up.
Also, I'm just going to say the cut that you gave us just fucking starts, which was so great.
That's straight up from the DVD.
Is that how it is?
Yeah.
It's just like, it has no black screen, nothing. It's just like, all right, here you go.
Yeah, because
interesting.
You have to understand that, like, I've been so busy this week that I watched this, like, literally at 4:30 in the morning when I woke up.
Sure.
And to wake up on your couch
with no expectations.
You
didn't watch the trailer.
And you just click Vice Academy 1989. Okay, you know. And then I'm watching it. I'm like, whoa, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
And it just kept waking me up more and more and more. And I'm just like,
but not in a good way.
No, not in a good way. More like startled. I was like, what am I watching?
Like a fever dream.
At 5 in the morning.
So when I gave this to you about, you know, I want to say like 2 weeks ago when I finally like locked down what we were programming what we were going to do for February, I turned it on and started watching like the first half an hour, right? I want to say that I watched it all the way up until they went out on Hollywood Boulevard to catch the first set of prostitutes.
Yeah.
Right? Oh no, I watched it all the way up until the porno scene.
Yes.
Right? Yes. That's where I was like, oh no. But like it was already I locked it in and I was like, I don't want to spoil the rest of this. Like I'll have to rewatch it anyway, so I'll hold back. So I knew what you guys were in for a little bit, where I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, you apologized to me last night when you were talking about like
I was like,
how I had to watch it. You're like, I'm so sorry.
So also, if you're listening to this, fingers crossed. I don't think anybody will care, but this is another film which I believe I'll be able to get up on YouTube So if you are interested in getting these jokes, it should be up if it didn't already get taken down. It's something. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
You know, watch it for the sake of Linnea, but even then,
Watch it in her memory.
she's not dead.
In memoriam.
I hope I'm saying her name right.
I believe it's Linnea Quigley.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's Linnea, but that's weird.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So the movie outright just starts.
Yep.
Two dudes doing a drug deal. It's nighttime, but in fucking broad open.
They also don't seem like they're doing as much of a drug deal as like they're just going to do drugs together.
Yeah.
Well, the guy's like, my supplier, and I got a Ziploc bag full of cocaine. And I love the movie taste test. Let me just dip my finger in it. Yep. Prime stuff. I'm like, I don't know the physics behind cocaine, but I don't think that's how you necessarily do it.
I'm sure those who've done it are like, yeah, that's what it tastes like. And if it doesn't taste like that, something's off.
Let me waste some in order to make sure it's real. Yeah.
I assume that the finger taste test thing is a part of what you buy.
Yeah, they give you a little extra so you can taste it.
That's gonna be $50 right there.
Right. So, yeah, they're in a car, and
very homoerotic moment
it's
they're
so
sharing.
weird.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because he's like, "All right, babe," right, and the guy just goes, "Hey, don't call me babe. I told you that before. I hate it." And then, in response, because that's where it should end. Really, that's where that weird line should end already. But then the guy, in response, goes, "Oh, no problem. You got it. I remember you saying that before."
Yeah, it's so sincere. He's like,
Terrible.
"Oh shit, you know what? I'm actually really sorry. Fuck, sorry about that."
And that was the first red flag for me. This dialogue, I was like, oh, I'm in for it.
So it made me that whole babe line made me laugh so hard because I don't know if I've said it to you guys, but people around our work, I'm always calling babe.
Really?
Always other. I'm always like, "Hey, can you hand me that?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Like, "Thanks, babe." And then that guy's like, "Don't call me babe. I hate it." I was like, "Oh shit, it's talking to me."
Oh, I remember that you saying that before.
Yeah.
Oh, bad. I won't call you.
My bad.
It's almost as if they caught a genuine line of like out of character.
Yeah, it was actually B-roll, and they're like, "Oh shit, this is good."
It's just,
we're just
it's the
gonna
best
go with
thing in
this.
this movie.
We're gonna go with this.
So that's another thing about this movie is that every single person, when they're on screen, it just lingers on them with awkward like line delivery, and then like, well, cut away.
Yeah, no, it's just like, in this scene is like almost, I think it's just one shot through the windshield, isn't it?
Yeah.
For them, yeah.
For them, yeah.
for them
It's like
it is.
literally one static shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh my god, we get it. They're drug dealers. Fuck. What is gonna happen?
Right?
Yeah.
So they're just out in like the oil fields of like Bixby Knolls.
But they're at a fucking like convenience corner store.
Yeah.
Literally doing, like I said, and it's so funny because it's like the film lights are out because it's literally like the middle of the night, so it's so fucking bright out there, and they're just like, "Yeah, let's deal drugs in broad daylight," basically.
Right? And so Holly, which is played by Ginger Lynn, right? Holly comes up, right? Just blaring like Kavinsky.
Yeah, right.
Just outrunner music, like
Need to make a night call. Yeah.
I'm giving you a night call. Tell you how I feel.
Do run. I love Kavinsky.
I do too.
I love
him
outrun
too.
But
music.
like that, actually, Night Call is different than anything else that he does.
Yeah, no, everything else is.
Everything
really
else sounds just like this. Like
no, and that's one thing I have to say about this movie is its soundtrack's fucking baller. I love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I wrote down. I was like, soundtrack by Casio keyboards. Because it literally is just like somebody just on a Casio just being like, and I'm gonna hit the saw blade sound. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Yeah, she pulls up, and note for any cops who listen or anything like that, watch this movie and you'll learn a cool tip of how not to not look like a cop? Like, don't pull up aggressively against someone else's car and block them in. That is the most cop thing I've ever seen.
Also, like, do you pull up on drug dealers making
In a tutu?
Yeah.
not armed possibly?
Yeah, right.
You're gonna get killed. These guys are high on cocaine.
Hey, it's me, not a cop.
And so she comes up to them, like chewing bubble gum, like, "Hey, you guys want to party?
Hey, you guys dealing drugs?"
Yeah, right. And he's literally, they're literally like, "Not with you."
Yeah,
Get the
fuck
fuck
off.
out of here! Trying to give this guy a hand job.
You seen abducted in plain sight? That's what's happening right now.
Oh, shit. Come on, I just need release. It's kid stuff.
Oh, no.
So anyway, they're like, "Well, I want to party." Well, all right, and then it's like, "Well, what kind of party?" "Well, I don't see no streamers here," and he goes back and forth and back and forth and back, and I'm just like, "Just get to it, get to what's going to happen."
So she finally is like, she's got a wad of 100 bills, and I'm just like, also, all right, that should be another red flag. Like, nobody just carries around wads of like dollar bills
For drugs.
like in a circle.
Yeah.
You know, like in that thing, like rounding a no.
Yeah.
No. Right? If she was just like a college girl looking to party, like,
She'd have like $20.
yeah,
You know,
So you got a dime bag? Not like, hey, I'll take that kilo off.
and
of
would
you.
like climb in the back seat and just like do a line and get out.
Yeah, and then drive recklessly back home. Probably die in an accident.
Like normal LA.
Yeah. No, yeah, so she they finally are like, "All right, we'll party with you." And then she's like, "Haha, freeze, I'm a cop."
But like she even awkwardly is like pulls her gun up and then like it must get caught on her purse strap
Yeah,
or
or
something.
something.
It's like okay, freeze.
Yeah.
You're under arrest, and they're like, fuck.
Yeah, right?
And then the movie's just like Vice Academy. And I went, all right, that's how we're gonna start this.
Yeah.
Because that's not a strong start.
Yeah, no. These very clearly non-threatening drug dealers in this car, and she pulls a gun and cocks it at them like, kill shot.
Because basically, the director or the screenwriter or somebody like Rick Sloane is the director, right?
Yeah.
Which, what did you find out?
He directed that Gremlins knockoff, Hobgoblins.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that and Hobgoblins too.
Oh shit! He's posing
Yeah,
his IMDb with a hobgoblin.
Yep, with a Hobgoblin.
Oh man.
Fuck.
His other two major credits like known for on IMDb, Good Girls Don't, and Mind, Body, and Soul.
Which is the poster for it is that in a different language?
Yeah.
It's in German?
Folterkeller Satans.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, the Folterkeller Satan.
But the last thing that he directed was he was in Hobgoblins, the making of a disaster piece, and then immediately followed that up with Hobgoblins 2. Like that was a good idea.
Wait, oh no.
He directed all of them. Yeah, he directed all of them.
I'm very upset about that. Because, okay, that's another thing that everybody should know right now is that we have just stepped into what is a 6-movie saga.
The Vice Academy cinematic universe.
I mean, they're almost up there with Police Academy.
Stanley's in every one.
Yeah, he's like, "Arr, show me your tits. Excelsior.
Damn it, you took it. With great power comes great tits.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yes, there are 6 of these movies, right? So, I think I want to say that
Yeah, Linnea Quigley's in the second
she's
one.
only in the second one.
And
And then the
Ginger
rest... No, I believe Ginger Lynn's in all of them.
Really?
I think
Holy
so.
crap.
What else did she have going on?
Yeah.
Okay, so who knows about Ginger Lynn?
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Go for it.
she prominently comes on to the adult industry stage in the early 80s. And this was a time where that look, that 80s feathered hair look, porn star really wasn't existing. So she became the prototype for what would come after, Jenna Jameson and all other blonde, go-to adult actresses. She is so up there. She has been inducted into the Hall of Fame of adult actors. There's a Hall of Fame that she's part of. That she's part of that whole history of adult entertainment. So
Sure.
But in the reality, it's not like she's in this movie as a gag. She's actually using this movie as a vehicle to transition into legitimate acting.
It's too bad it was this movie.
But I mean, it's the fact that she's coming off. I mean, she started in the 80s, 1980 actually, and then got out at 83. So by then, I mean, she probably was like, 3 years into it, and she actually wanted to become a legitimate actress.
According to her IMDb, it didn't pan out too well for
No,
her.
it didn't pan out that she went back into it in her 40s.
Oh no, shit! She did a good movie. What is that?
Toothless?
2009. I want to come inside your mom. 23. So
23?
Actually, I think she did one of the American Pies. She was at like a camp nurse or something like that.
Well, it also showed that she's in one of my favorite movies, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Well, no, she's in.
I'm not. Sorry, Devil's Rejects.
Well, she's in all of it because she's in 31 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she plays a sex worker in all of them.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's Rob Zombie for you.
Yeah.
And she probably has like a trailer trash background,
Yeah.
like all of his characters.
I want each and every one of you to be just like my wife.
Hot, but kind of gross. You would have sex with her, but she probably smells like patchouli.
You're really going to enjoy it, but you'll really regret it later.
I'm gonna watch.
Yeah. Bees and the witches are burning the bitches.
Yeah.
Slam in the back of my wife's ass.
And it's like her rise to
Get it, Ginger.
her rise to such fame was because it was that whole controversy. It would have been Tracy Lords, but because due to Tracy Lords, that once her stuff started coming out, they found out that they were distributing a lot of her content when she was a minor.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's what this movie's about.
So this is actually kind of hinting,
This is
wink,
autobiography?
wink,
Yeah.
at what really Tracy Lords went through.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She used a fake ID to lie about her age.
Oh my
Wow.
god, that's almost worse than buying alcohol with it.
Yeah, you kick off an entire adult entertainment career with a fake ID.
Damn.
I wonder how many of these. I love the House of Many Sorrows. I'm like, is that real?
It's completed.
It's
Yeah.
completed, yeah.
Or,
Sexiest porn stars ever.
cougar,
List of 200
lesbian.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
she's up there out of the 100, number 7.
But-
She's 100 years old?
No.
but what I meant is, like, how many of these is she actually performing in?
Well, that
versus
one's-
like, oh, I'm the actress that comes in being like, what are you two brothers and sisters doing in here?
Well, that says when Ginger met Nina, and that's probably Nina Hartley.
Yeah,
Oh.
that could probably be
Oh, God.
Nina Hartley.
Just leather.
Oh, shit.
Man. We are not getting invited on their show.
We would love to make a cameo.
Just you walk in. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so she busts these guys, and then we get the cool title sequence, and then we go straight to the classroom, I believe,
Yes, that looks like they're filming
in a porn set.
In a porn set. A very awkward training video.
But okay, so is it a porn set, or do all of these future officers just have really big problems with like traffic signs?
Yeah, right. There's like traffic signs all over the walls, like they're in a
driving
driver's
school,
ed school.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're there, and they
Also, you don't
stuff happens.
You don't train to be in a certain sect of the police department. That's not how it works.
Well, because they're not also. Here's the thing. Here's the what kind of academy is this? Because they're saying that they're not police officers.
No, they're vice. They're going to become vice detectives.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to be a police officer already.
Yes.
Right.
You need you become the way that it works is you become a detective and you get put on a certain squad that investigates certain crimes. There's vice, homicide, traffic.
So what is vice?
Vice is drugs and I believe
Prostitution?
sex crimes.
Oh man, so that was Miami Vice?
Yeah, that's what it was about.
Yeah, Miami Vice.
Shit.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
watched it.
You say
Yeah.
like you
Oh,
were
and
in it, and you're like, I didn't get it.
And arson.
I watched the movie, and I don't remember it being about anything but the drugs. I don't remember
So
prostitution.
what the hell are you
Vice
waiting
Vice
for?
typically just deals with drugs.
Got
But then
it.
there's also arson. Arson's
Miami
the other
drugs.
one.
I get it.
Miami drugs. It's just
This
cocaine.
is Miami Connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much better movie,
Or
surprisingly.
Raiders of...
That's Raiders of Atlantis.
Raiders of Atlantis.
You cherish that movie.
That was terrible. Crystal Skull.
But yeah, so they're in this classroom and they're learning.
From this madam,
Yeah.
which I really just took as a madam.
Okay, yeah, right. I was like, so who's really running the brothel here?
Yeah, right.
So it's a bunch of scantily clad, hair teased 80s women.
They're all
Again,
women. They're all
you
women.
don't wear just whatever you want to the police academy.
Right?
You wear a uniform.
Especially when they go out to train outside with
Yeah.
like the tires and everything, climbing over walls. I was
Yeah,
like,
and they're like in like
Spandex?
sexy clothes.
yeah.
They really had their audience pinpointed on this film.
It's
honestly.
a very impractical, choice of clothes that they're having during this whole training, and then also like this, the teacher's like this pinup pseudo model that doesn't even fit with what's going on, but she's the only point of authority there.
So that's Miss Davonshire.
Davonshire,
Right?
yes.
Yeah.
And she is taking on she is literally like house mama.
Yeah.
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 To a brothel is what
Yeah.
it seems like.
No, yeah, without a doubt. And then our main characters.
So Holly basically starts being like, I got an arrest last night, so referring to the drug deal that we talked about earlier. She's
Yeah.
like, I got an arrest last night, and basically my daddy is the head of the police force, and he said it was okay to do it, and I was perfectly safe because I could scream, and there'd be cops coming from all places.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, and also again, no, you do not arrest people. while you're sneezing. No, you don't. You don't arrest people when you're in the police academy.
No.
That's like you are not a sworn officer.
Nor is there a requirement or a quota to arrest 10 people before you graduate.
Also, quotas are illegal. So, like, really, what the fuck?
It's like somebody did not. It's like whoever wrote this was like, I don't even know what a cop is.
I know it's a guy in a uniform or one of the village people, but that's as much as I know.
They like to dance. They're friends with Indians. Shit, I don't got anything else, honestly.
And then the introduction of our three main characters.
Who show up late.
Right? Because you that's another thing is that there is this like class rivalry between Holly, right, and these other three that we're about to get introduced.
This
right?
class might as well just be 4 people.
Yeah.
Because who
Yeah.
the hell is everyone else?
But the thing about it is that like this rivalry only happens within the classroom environment, really, and then Holly is just forgotten about until we come back to the class every
until
time.
it's good for it. Until it's time for her to come back. Basically.
Yeah.
She's only the antagonist until it's needed.
Yeah, which is never is.
Yeah,
No, it's
she
never.
because
she
we've got
doesn't need-
plenty of antagonists in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, she doesn't even have her own subplot going on or anything like that.
So in from the back door, starring Ginger Lynn, is Dee Dee, played by Linnea Quigley,
Oh hell yeah!
right? Shawnee, played by Karen Russell, Tyler's favorite,
Yes.
and then Dwayne. Did I
Yeah.
get it right?
Yeah.
Played by Ken Abraham.
Yeah.
And yes, that's right, Dwayne, as in a dude,
One dude.
only dude in this class.
I honestly think he's the minority hire in the whole thing. You know, you could have one male in there.
But my thing is, like, you think like he's gonna be that character that's like, yeah, all the women, and they all fucking hate him.
Yeah.
He's the comic relief.
Yeah,
But he's not good at it.
No,
he's terrible.
So the teacher starts teaching a lesson about, and she brings up Dwayne and Shawnee, and she's teaching a lesson on how to disarm someone with a gun. And she says, "What This is 10 minutes in, by the way. I
Yes.
just want to throw that out there. She says,
I had to see that marker
Yeah.
at 10 minutes.
yeah, she says, all right, Dwayne has the gun and he points it at Shawnee. She says, how are you going to disarm him? And he points the gun at her and she just takes her tits out.
She's not even blonde either.
No, and that's exactly where I was like, oh,
Yeah, I
it's
was
this kind of movie.
And I knew it was this kind of movie, but it's still genuine. I was like, wow!
yeah, I was like, what?
This is when I called Carly and I was like, come here. And I
had
skipped
to.
back to show her.
I had to skip back as well to see like what minute mark? Oh, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, did I miss something? But yeah, she just shows her boobs. And the teacher's like, no, not like that.
Yeah, right.
Because apparently, like, boob pulling out is often an occurrence in the class.
And I mean, I understand that this is supposed to be like blonde bimbo sex comedy.
Yeah.
Right? But like, at what lines of believability am I supposed to go for here? Like, where is the line so that I know what is supposed to be funny and what is not? Right? Because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at a whole class of people that I don't believe would get past the first round.
No, yeah, it's like they are all genuinely so fucking dumb. And it's like, these are supposed to be cops?
yeah.
Like, is there a little, there's some political commentary happening in this movie, or is it just dumb?
So we've all watched Police Academy, right?
Yes.
I've seen the first one, yeah.
Okay.
Seen the first three.
And you understand why the people that are in the academy are in that movie, right?
Yes.
Do you remember? Yeah. So anybody who's listening who doesn't, it is basically that like funding has been cut.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll just take anybody right now, right? Just to prove that the police academy itself, I think, is still a viable
Yeah,
thing.
it's still like a viable
right?
operation.
If that's not the first one, that's at least one of them.
Yeah.
Now,
I know in like, is it 3 or 4? There's like 2 police academies against each other.
I just know they go to Russia at some point.
That's horrible.
Ron Perlman is in that one.
Mission to Moscow.
Yeah, he's playing Russian. My favorite character was Tackleberry. I love him. Yeah, he had that whole like survivalist Vietnam post traumatic syndrome that nobody really addressed. But he was like a gun freak, and his backyard was like a full Rambo set.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sneaked
That
up
was
on
part
people.
2.
That was part 2.
Yeah.
When he started dating, and he's all like, "Yeah, this is who I am."
Or maybe that was 3. Actually, they kind of merged together for me.
Uh-huh.
My favorite was Jones, just the sound effects guy.
Oh, well, he's the only one that actually came back to the TV series.
That's right. Because what else was he doing?
Yeah.
He's like, I can do all the sound effects for the cartoon if you want.
Yeah.
No, he was ridiculous.
Like everyone.
He was really ridiculous when he did his dubbed Karate Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite was when it's in part 6.
Oh my god.
You went that far. Wow.
Oh yeah. City Under Siege? Part 6.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bad guy, like, they're in this, like, junkyard or something, and there's this, like, rack, like, full of stuff, right? And he just leans it over on top of him, and it crushes him, right? And so, like, he falls, but it doesn't hurt him, and he just looks around, right? And he sees, like, a C-clamp, right? And then, like, what looks like a computer circuit board and stuff. So he, like, shoves the computer board, like, under his shirt, but it's poking out. He takes the C-clamp and, like, takes his... And he has something hanging off his head, too, right? And he just, like, gets up and, like, throws the rack off, and he's just like... right? And the guy goes, oh my god, you're a robot, right? and he in turn, like, as if he recorded it, right? He goes, what? Oh my god, you're a robot. Right? It just is coming for him, and he's just like, no. And it's such a good moment. Like,
No.
like they're still good.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
sad when Gutenberg left the series.
Mahoney?
Yeah, Mahoney.
Did he leave to? That's the same Gutenberg as Tower of Terror, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm moving on to bigger things.
He's on Ballers now.
Disney's
with
calling me.
with a whole face full of botulism.
Shit.
He has got those injections. He doesn't like can move his face anymore.
But bringing it back to Vice Academy is that, like, there's not even a scene in which it explains, like, why all these dumb people are in this class.
No.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, it would make sense if it's like, hi, like, my daddy's the chief of police and he got me in. That's one person for explanation, but that does not explain the rest. If it was like, my daddy's the chief of police and he's so goddamn stupid and corrupt that he let all my sorority sisters
yeah, like
in,
all
maybe.
my friends in, but they're not her friends.
No, not at all.
And even if they were maybe explaining it that there was a rise in this sort of crime, like, prostitution and stuff like that, that they're trying to hire a specific kind of, personnel that could handle it.
That would make more sense too, where it's like, we're looking for a specific look.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, all the girls look the same in this movie, so.
All feathered hair. They delivered a palette of Aquanet to the set for the hair makeup.
No, so after she pulls her boobs out, the teacher's like, no, this is how you do it. Men have a pressure point. And the guy's holding the gun, and she just kicks him in the fucking balls. And then proceeds to say to Shawnee, see, try it. And she kicks him in the balls. And then she's like, class will not be dismissed today until everyone practices the pressure point. So the whole class. And listen, like
a train.
You get it. You get it after the first person kicks him.
It
literally is like the full class.
They bust a train on him.
Over 20 girls.
Yes, before the scene ends. And every single time they kick him, he's a robot. Or he has metal genitals.
Well, what he has is basically it's Jones. He's like bing bang bing bong.
Yeah, and he's so bad at reacting too. He's like, just like making these like cross eyes. It's like, God.
Also, has anybody ever worn their hat in a triangle formation brim?
All like
just bent completely in half.
Also, really weird. He's wearing a San Francisco Giants hat.
No, it was L.A. It was Dodgers.
No, it's a Giants hat.
Is it?
It's a Giants
hat. It was
hat.
exactly like your hat.
It was a Giants hat because I was trying to understand what jersey he was wearing because it said Dragons.
Yeah,
so
and it was he's wearing a Giants hat, which I was like, oh, is this in the Bay Area? And then it was like Hollywood.
Yeah. It's
well, no, the training segment is in Arleta. That's where they filmed it.
Where the heck is that?
That's exactly the point. I don't know. He could have gotten the hat closer over there. It's in California.
Well, okay, so that's the next scene is like there's this training stuff and Dwayne is being the typical like pervert.
Yeah.
Of like he's like the girls are doing tire like the whole like
running through the tires
right, and he's at the very end and he's like, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. I love my view, and I'm like, why is nobody addressing this pervert? Right. So Miss Davonshire comes down, right, and this is where like the guy on the Casio keyboard was like, I like Jaws. I'm gonna play Jaws right now.
Yeah, right.
Right. But it's just like one note off of Jaws.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like instead of like burn, it's like burn boom.
Yeah. There's a lot of music in this movie that's like a rip off of other music.
There's the James Bond one.
Yes.
Yeah. Investigating.
Yeah.
And then it's like an interesting fact. The establishing shot they always put for the academy, which is called, I guess, the Vice Academy. I don't think it's necessarily the Police Academy. Is actually the Los Angeles Police Museum.
It just looked like a football field.
No,
it looked like a high school football field.
No, he's talking the building that they're training inside of.
Yeah, the brick building that nobody ever seems to enter, but it's just the establishing shot.
Sure.
It's over there on York and Figueroa in right in between Eagle Rock and Highland Park. It's right there. It's right by where I live.
Okay.
And I was all like,
everyone go beat up Vicente. You know where he lives.
No, but exactly. It's like, but it's weird. It's weird because this is such a, for me, just to keep going on the movie, it's such a bizarre movie for all of a sudden something to pop out that you can, it's literally in your neighborhood.
But that's just you. Not the rest of everybody.
Well, no, but
if
if you notice in the film, they actually walk down the Walk of Fame.
Now
which
that's
is in
more
Hollywood.
iconically, I would say.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's very well known.
Yeah, but with that one, when they're on the Walk of Fame, I'm wondering, like, where was that theater?
That looked, honestly, it looked like what is now the Supper Club, which is now nothing. Okay, so that would be after Highland, but before,
Like before Vine?
Yeah. Like in that block.
Okay. Oh, all the way by the Pantages.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
between the pantages.
Pantages.
Oh,
pantages.
no, I know where it is. I know exactly where it is. Then.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's that empty lot where there used to be a building, and then the next one, it's like, that's where they have it.
There was a nightclub called the Supper Club,
Uh-huh.
and it was an old movie theater, which
Uh-huh.
would add up to the shots of this nudie theater that they're staged in.
They do have it.
Which they did not get a permit to film, I read.
Yeah, I read that. They filmed a lot of this without permits. Just like 80s were a different time, man.
I know, right?
No, so they're training, and he's being a pervert, whatever. And just like our main characters are just dumb, and they just suck.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even good.
So there's a firing range that's directly down the sights of a highway.
An active highway, I might add. But it's okay. Bullets stop at fences, so they have the wherewithal.
So they give Shawnee the gun, and it's like, you have 6 bullets. Try your luck at the target, right? And like bullets, like 1, 2, and 3. One hits a dog.
Well, she misfires towards the people waiting with her.
Right. And then, so she does fire like 4.
Yes.
Right? So, yeah, one, as soon as she takes the gun, she just immediately is like, into the ground. And people are like, oh, fuck!
She almost Starship Trooper trainings someone, just like blast them in the head.
Yeah. And then the next shot hits something. Like, it hits glass.
It hits glass, which, where did that come from?
It must have been from a car riding through the highway.
Just killed a family of 4.
And then the next one's like, and it's like, right? So she's hit a dog.
Aw,
right?
Sparky.
And then the next one's like, and it's like, hey!
Yeah.
I'm like, so there's no consequence
to anything.
Hitting dogs and human beings. Like, there's no consequence. And Davenshaw's just like, keep going.
So the 5th one ricochets, and everyone drops to the ground.
Right.
And then the teacher's like, okay, you have one more shot. Try to hit the target. I like to aim between the eyes. And she fucking hits it. Like, it's nobody's bit. Just like, right between the eyes.
Yep.
Which is wild, because they're also teaching these people, they're also teaching these recruits kill shots. Like, that's a really weird thing to teach them. Is like, oh yeah, when you shoot someone, right between the eyes, just kill them. That way they can't testify.
Because you're not getting away with it, girls, let me tell you.
It's like real police training.
Right?
But yeah, so also before this, there's 2 girls like hand to hand fighting, and like one of their boobies falls out of their shirt while they're doing it, which we were talking about, the like inappropriate attire for like training and all this kind of stuff.
Like Shawnee, the girl we just mentioned with the gun, she's just walking around with like the tightest camel toe ever in every scene.
Yeah.
Because she's just wearing like these skin tight spandex jumpers. That have like that basically have like the Fuck Jerry logo on them.
Are you talking about that
pastel
cup?
soda cup?
Yeah.
She's wearing that outfit, like basically, and we're very topical lately.
I know.
It's good. Nobody will remember 10 years from now.
Remember the Oklahoma's bombing? And we're going real old. It's just like it was yesterday. No, so then they
have a rivalry, but basically they come back into class. She teaches them how to put on makeup like a prostitute.
Yeah.
Right? And she puts makeup on Shawnee, and I mean,
it was in 20 seconds, right. And it looks good.
Yeah, like a timing. And then Shawnee puts it on Dee Dee, Linnea Quigley, and immediately is just like, "You're a clown."
Yeah, she was like
right? I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I know, like didn't even try. And then Linnea Quigley's like as if she didn't feel the lipstick just looks in a mirror and it's like
yeah, that's what this is. It's just like, here's a bit.
Yeah. How dumb can these girls be?
Yeah, and then so they go to the bathroom to wash it off, and that's when Holly comes in, and she's just talking shit to them and being like, "My daddy said I was going to go on another bus," and they tape a 8.5 by 11 paper sign on her back that says "Vice Cop."
on her skin. And she literally on her bare skin, they tape it to her. She turns, looks in the mirror. You can see it in the mirror.
It's definitely got to be flapping around.
And she's like, there's nothing on my back. and just like walks out.
Drove to the scene.
Yeah, she got into a car, drove, and
which
then
meant that she had to lean back on the paper.
Yeah.
And it's just standing out there in the same place that she busted the other guys. And it's like, Daddy, I don't know why I'm not getting any bus tonight. And you're like, what is your malfunction?
not only that, but she hasn't been killed yet. It's like,
Right.
"Oh, there's a cop there.
Or raped.
God,
Right?
yeah. It's just like, it's awful.
As she's blaring the same Outrunner music. Like,
Everybody's paging themselves.
Right.
Hey, look out for that Outrunner music,
she's
girl.
just look at her playing the Miami Vice theme song. Right
Yeah.
there.
Is this the point where they decide, like, they all choose, like, basically like a book report on what they're gonna do?
No, because while this is happening,
That's right. They're walking down the street.
Shawnee and Dee Dee are going out just on a night at the town, right? But they immediately look like prostitutes.
Yeah.
Because that's their normal
You never
dress.
stop working.
Yeah.
And that's when they run into this little girl known as Cherry Pop.
Yeah.
She's crying on the side of the sidewalk on Hollywood Boulevard, and it turns out that Cherry Pop has been just
Beat up.
beaten.
Yeah.
And she's crying to them, and she's like, I don't want your help, like, and revealing to them that there's a porno industry that has been very abusive to girls,
And it's preying on young girls.
Yeah, and
like
there could be-
underage.
Yeah, it could be an entire ring.
Which is interesting because this movie decides to take a very strong tone all of a sudden. As soon as that girl takes her sunglasses off, it's just like, it's like, oh, this isn't funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, none of it is.
No, the movie's not funny at all.
Yeah, it's not only that because she's trying to go legit with a workout video.
That she pulls out of her vagina? She's like, yeah, I'm trying to go legit with a workout video. Here it is. And just like pulls it out of nowhere. It's like, okay.
I didn't see a purse on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got a purse.
Might be the cutest girl in the film.
She's like 6.
Yeah, no, she's not really underage. Calm down.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but no. So they are like, we're gonna fix this.
Yeah. So that's when they go back.
Yeah.
And that's when the teacher basically gives out being like, you need 10 arrests to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so give me your assignments where you're going to go. And that's when like 2 girls are like, we're going to go try to bust a donkey show ring.
And they're wearing sombreros. And I believe when they say it, it's like...
It is.
Yeah. That's not the first... And that's not the only racist thing that happens in this movie.
Sure.
And they-
2 white girls with sombreros. Yeah, they're going to fit right in.
2 other girls are like, we're about to go and try to bust a roller derby syndicate, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, what is the crime going on there?
We hate lesbians.
and then those 2 come up and be like, we're gonna try to infiltrate a porno shoot and see if we can't dig up some dirt on like the underage pornography that's going on here. And the teacher's like, don't fucking waste my time.
yeah. But
So,
also,
I've just come up with a legitimate assignment.
Yeah, when you want to go after lesbians and race.
No. I was gonna.
And also friggin' what's her name? Holly broke up like some high school jock nonsense or something.
Yeah.
I need to go back for a second. Holly's father came to the class when they let out that first day.
Yeah.
With like the 2 guys that she busted the night before and did like an impromptu lineup in the hall.
Yeah, with the 2 guys, that she locked up, one random guy, and Nick Cage from Con Air.
I wanted to say it was the ghost in the subway from Ghost. Get off my train!
Yeah, and she's like,
I don't know who you are.
but just to show how stupid Holly is, she's like, yeah, I locked these guys up. Which ones were they, Daddy?
Meanwhile, while this is happening, the 2 guys from the previous scene are like, you fucking bitch, you're gonna pay. Like, to her face.
Yeah, in
And
front
she's
of the
still
whole
like,
class.
Daddy, I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, and he's like, it's the ones on the end. And she's
Right?
like, those ones.
And then those 2 guys run out the door in handcuffs and are never seen again.
No one stops them.
They're not stopped. And then her father, legitimate,
actual cop, the chief of police,
with a sidearm that I'm assuming he has, doesn't draw it, doesn't chase. Oh, we'll catch him again.
They were white. You let them go.
If they're doing drugs in broad daylight again, I'll catch him.
Because he really doesn't have a case on them because
Yeah.
they were wrongfully arrested from a bogus sting operation from his daughter.
Yeah.
There's so much corruption that he's like, I just wanted to make sure that you could confirm that they were the guys.
Is it like
So
it's
you're
like,
free to go?
It's like it's like basically catch and release for her. All right, honey, let's put the fish back.
Yeah.
So back to
Yeah, but what I was gonna say about the whole like them putting forth the like porno ring thing of like what they were gonna bust is so funny because it's literally the situation. It reminds me of my 6th grade science fair where I did the.
there's a lot of porn stars.
No. I did the paper towel project where you're like, which paper towel's the best, right? And I was like, this is a good science fair project. And then someone else did, why don't the oceans freeze? So it's like literally these people like, yeah, we're gonna bust this roller derby. All right, cool. You're good. Yeah, we're gonna find this illegal porno ring that's using children and drugs. It's like, well, man, to make me look like a fucking idiot.
I have and it just hit me.
Uh-oh.
I have a super crazy true story about science fair projects.
Oh no.
And so my father, right? My parents were always guilty of enabling me to like basically being like, we want him to succeed, right? So like we'll help you in any means needed.
Yeah.
Right? So my mom would like help me write essays, right?
Yeah.
Like would be like, oh, write this, like, and then like my dad would try to help me with science projects, right? But my dad was so like OCD obsessive, right? that like other kids were doing exactly like, oh, what paper towel's the best and stuff like this. My dad made an entire fucking solar panel. like with like actual like copper tubing and shit, right? And like, I mean, it was as big as this table, like an entire table.
Holy
right?
shit! It was like an actual panel.
An actual, like, he built it with what I can only assume is the intention that like when it's done, we can use it to heat our pool.
Oh my god!
Right? And literally, I turned it in, and my teacher was like, "You didn't do this." Straight up was like, "You couldn't have. Like, it's not physically possible." And she's like, "You don't know how to weld."
No,
like he was welding.
No, I know.
I wasn't even doing it. I was like upstairs. I was like away from the project. I remember it as a child, and that's part of like where I was like, I gotta be myself, like eventually, right? And that was going on throughout junior high until like high school. I was like, back off.
No, Miss Teacher, I understand thermodynamics.
To be fair, it did work. Like,
oh, fuck.
Because it was a solar panel that was heating water through the pipes, right? It was like one that you would put on your roof if you're in like Florida. They do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was a solar panel potato clock. Yeah, I got it.
It's insane though, because like when you really think about it, you're like, Dad, what were you doing?
Your dad was like, I just want to do something cool. Otherwise, your mom's going to be mad at me.
You don't let me shoot rockets anymore. He loved ST rockets. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. I only had Stomp rockets.
Oh,
those always got stuck on the roof of my neighbor's house.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Yep. He would love to do that kind of stuff, but it was just like, you couldn't tell him, like, you're going
Dad,
too far.
chill out.
Yeah. He
So
made
back
a
to
distiller one time.
Oh
too.
my god, he was making moonshine for
You'd
kids.
think so, but he's never drank a lick of alcohol in his life.
Oh my god.
It's funny.
So back to Science Fair Squad.
Yeah. So at this point, they tell her what's up, and they're like, no, we're serious. That's what we're going to do. And she's like, all right, well, cool. Check it out. What I have here is a lipstick that makes a gunshot sound.
Yeah.
Right? And what I also have is some banaka that makes a police siren sound.
Yeah.
Right? In your, like, whore arsenal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Of a purse. And then she's like, I also have these, like, trashy earrings, and one earring is the microphone and one is the receiver, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other end, your friends can like basically listen in on this Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to hear whatever you hear, right? And I'm like, all right.
And she gives him a purse, too. And I just want to throw this out there. Jonathan isn't just saying whore to be, like, awful. They say whore in this movie so much.
Thanks for having my back there.
I got you. No, when they hand the purse to Shawnee, she says, this looks like a whore's purse. And then she's like, that's the point. And it's like, whew. The anti-sex worker sentiment in this film is rough.
I'm going to take a long shot here and say that if I can find a writer,
There is
it's
no
a
writer.
male name.
No, it's Rick Sloane.
Oh, it's Rick Sloane. What a douche.
Yeah, it was directed, written, and produced by him.
Jesus. He was like, yeah, horror works.
Yeah, Hobgoblins is my next film.
Horror goblins.
There's a sexy hobgoblin. He's got lips and tits.
Sex goblins. Sex trolls.
Ooh.
Oh, not only that, but she also like, and this is what killed me about it. It's like, it's typewriters. You're still using typewriters. You're still using typewriters, and I'm just like, okay, I'll give you this resume. Apparently, they have a resume for.
But okay, so this is what bothers me. She gives him this resume of being like, here's a porno star's resume. I just happen to have it.
Yeah.
Right. And so Dee Dee, Linnea Quigley, goes to the set of a porno, basically gets an interview.
Yeah.
And did not in any way, shape, or form read the resume.
No, and he gets it, and he's like, so you, he's like, anything you won't do? She's like, oh, I won't work with animals. He goes, really? Says here on your resume, you, looks like you had sex with the whole zoo. And she's like, oh, that was my old stuff. I'm trying to move away from that. He's like, anything else you want to do? Oh, I went to S&M. Looks like you, did a whole bunch of it. So she's like, oh, I'm trying to move away from that. Like, the same joke again.
Oh, which I do. He goes, well, here it says that you worked on, Beat Me in St. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, all right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, for this movie, good try.
Yeah.
And then it's like when she walks in, there's this novelty clock.
I was just about to say the novelty clock. Yeah.
5:30. It was 5:30.
It's like 5:30.
Was that what the sounds
It was
were?
the clock.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
the
the
clock.
clock.
I totally, because I wrote later, I was like, what the fuck are these random moans?
No, it's the clock on the wall.
It's the clock on the wall
God, I
announcing
was
the
so
time.
lost in that.
It's up there with the talking fish. I think they were like,
Because
yeah.
literally randomly throughout these next couple scenes,
Yeah.
every once in a while you'll just hear,
Yeah. He's there in that warehouse.
Yeah, and he walks into the office, into the whole casting couch. It's legitimately a casting couch. I'm not even making it.
well, because he immediately she's like, hi, I'm here to interview for the next porno, and he goes, all right, so here's the deal. Like, you
Yeah.
get to sucking, right?
get on your back and show me what you got. And he's already unbuttoned his shirt, which I think is being held together by one button.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's typical.
Got to take it off quick in these
I
situations.
mean, hair's got to bust out.
I
man.
guess so, but he's all like, eh.
Yeah.
He's all like, yeah, you're one of the smart ones.
Yeah. No, so then
Yeah.
our male counterpart, Chucky Long, comes in.
Motorcycle
I like
dude.
Chucky Long.
Yeah, and
Chucky
she's in
Long.
love with
Immediately
him.
infatuated to the point. Okay, so she starts off this interview where the first thing she's like, "Hey, I don't do anything for free." Right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, okay, wow, a strong woman. All right, cool." But then Chucky Long comes in, right?
Yeah.
just blonde, long-haired, like
Trucker
shoulder
or
length-
biker guy.
Yeah,
Biker.
being like, and he's a porno actor, and immediately she's just like, oh, like he looks like Rocky from Rocky Horror.
Yes,
right.
yes,
He's
very
like,
much so.
boom, there it is, blonde, gorgeous looking, like for that time, right, kind of thing. And she's immediately like, I'll work for free. And
Yeah.
he's like, what? And she's like, I said, we'll discuss my fee. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like she's just enamored with Chucky.
And then
right?
does she immediately go into shooting the porn?
No, she comes out and like has a conversation with. Meanwhile, Shawnee and Dwayne have been in this van just sitting
Being
there.
useless idiots.
They're
It's just
listening in. They're
pointless,
But
right? Well, they're not. Well, they are listening in this part, right?
Yeah.
And
only
then-
suggest that she should go and try and find like incriminating documents.
Right. And then that scene moves on, right? So this is also where in this scene right when Chucky comes in and they introduce him, he goes, "This is Dee Dee Fluffer." Which
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be your next co-star. And Chucky goes, "What happened to so and so?" And he goes, "We had to get rid of her because she turned 19." And he goes, "I didn't know she passed 18, right?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, so we're good here, right? Like, like we just got the evidence. Like, we literally had two people have a conversation.
Yeah.
You
right?
just admitted to a minor
Like-
in this industry.
But
Chucky Long, our eventual hero, is a pedophile.
Yeah, but also somehow I, like, probably if we went outside, Dwayne and Shawnee weren't recording any of that.
No,
so.
yeah. So, she tries to sneak, right? She tries to sneak into the office.
Yeah, so, like, then the scene, like, I guess it's assumed it's the next day or something.
Yeah.
But, like, basically, she comes in and she's already in lingerie. Like, she's ready to go for the porno scene. And favorite line, I put it as the theme song, like, the line and everything is, like, basically, Chucky shows up and they're like, all right, like, you're going to do this scene, get dressed, and action, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, hold on, take it back.
Yeah.
Dee Dee actually does go into the office.
Yeah,
and
she's
finds...
trying to steal that binder. She's trying to shove it in her underwear, and she's like, "Oh, it doesn't. It's a huge binder.
The Trapper Keeper."
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, it's not going to work." And then the director comes. She's like, "What are you doing? Let's go."
And she did find a contract that said like cherry pop.
Yep.
And age 15.
Yep.
Where I'm like, you're like putting down like literal ages, like knowing it and being like, let's commit this to paper.
Yeah, let's commit a crime.
But it was something else because for it being 1989, you see that they make a point that even as ridiculous as the story is, the director of these pornos is a woman.
And she's like, I know you've probably never worked with a woman director before, but we're different.
That's a weird thing too, because they put women in power, like on the villain sides, both times that they have a villain to go.
But they
towards.
also keep putting women. They put women in power in this film, but then talk down women.
Yeah,
because she's even said, "Okay, we're gonna do this. And you're gonna do." And I want Chucky. I want you to really degrade her. Right? And he's even telling the producer, "That's good." And he's got these flashcards, and then he's all like, hey, "He's not degrading her enough."
He's like, "Make sure you degrade her."
Yeah, the flashcard.
But another great line from. We'll say the line that you were going to say, because I don't want to say it.
So basically, they call action.
Yeah.
Right. And immediately, like the camera pans up to like. Meanwhile, it looks like the bed, it looks like the set of Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes.
Pee-wee's
and she's wearing like a fluffy Dorothy outfit. Right. Not even a maid. She's supposed to be a maid.
She looks like Mrs. What's her face from Pee Wee Herman. Actually.
Yes.
Right. And the camera pans up. And there's just this lady
in the shot,
like lights up, like she's within the window.
Yes,
on the backside of the set, just lights up a cigarette, and they're like, "Get out of the shot!" And she's like, "Why?"
Yeah, and then she just like slowly walks out of the shot.
That was like the most genuine laugh I had.
Yeah.
Until this very next point, where basically there's a knock on the door.
Oh my god,
it is. Who is it? And he goes, "I'm a horny stud. Open up and let me in. I'm gonna rape you until you split in two."
Yes, it's like, what the fuck?
It was like, oh yes.
No, and then she's so like enamored with him. She was like, "Oh, you just said the right word to unlock this hole," and she fucking rips the door off the hinges, which was very clearly held on with Velcro. You could see it on the side of the door. Yeah, and then they call cut, and she's like, "No, you're not. You're supposed to be scared. You're supposed to be." And she's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Not supposed to rip the door off the hinges." She's like, "Okay," and then
this was the best scene in the movie.
Meanwhile, all of this is happening, and Shawnee and Dwayne are listening to.
They're supposed to be listening in, but instead
they're listening to what is the band called?
Severe Tire Damage.
Severe tire damage.
Which once they're like, oh my god, I have a tape of Severe Tire Damage. She's like, that's my favorite band. Pop that shit in.
Yeah.
Right? And they do, and it's so blatantly obvious that like there was no music. to
Yeah,
be
they're like
heard.
rocking out, but it's like.
It's the same. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I only had one song.
We're gonna have a Severe Tire Damage shirt.
Right? And Dwayne has like one drumstick.
Yeah, and
Came
he's
out
like-
of nowhere. And she's
And-
pretending to air guitar.
And then he has to put his shades on.
Yeah,
And he's doing it.
Right? And so basically, they were supposed to come in when they heard that it was like, okay, action, get the fucking.
Yeah.
Right?
So anyway, she's getting piped down, and she's
But-
fully
like-
clothed.
But this is weird to me too because they don't show it,
No.
right? And that sounds weird to say it that way, but what I mean by that is that like you have a nudie comedy, right?
And you don't show it.
That and you don't show it, but then you show it later. 3 minutes later,
Outside
in
of the porno.
second sex scene,
Yeah.
right? Because what happens is like he's just necking her on the bed,
Yeah.
and she's like her leg is like up in the air and around him, and she's like, oh my god,
Yeah, and she's like,
right?
Right. Slapping
And it
his
cuts
back.
back to Dwayne and Shawnee rocking out like, and then it cuts back to them, and they're both like on their back, like smoking a cigarette. Like,
Yeah.
it's done.
Yeah.
Like the deed is done, right? And they film the scene, right? And Dwayne and Sean, it cuts back to them again, and they're like, oh my god, we should have been listening in.
Yeah.
Right? And so they run in, and they're like, Vice, you're under arrest. And everybody's like, what the fuck?
No, and
Right?
they had just been discussing before that, like,
Hey, you
oh,
hear
what
about
if one
this?
of these people is a Vice agent?
Right.
And they're like, don't worry about it. And then they bust in, and they're like, Vice, you're under arrest. And they're like, ah, shit. And then Linnea Quigley saves Chucky Long,
Because she's infatuated with
even
him.
though he has had sex with a child.
Yep.
It's been confirmed. This movie's just like, yeah, whatever, it's cool, he's hot.
Yeah. And they take the director and the guy who first interviewed him,
And all of the crew.
yeah, and put them in the back of their like just regular nondescript van.
Yep.
And drive away with them while Linnea handcuffs Chucky
To herself.
and basically kidnaps him.
Yes.
To her own apartment.
Which is the back of a kitchen. I don't know why she
no,
lives
when
in...
when they opened up the door, I was like, "What in the hell?" I mean, it's like it fell on full high school student film project.
And then-
Yeah, it looked like the lab in which they will develop this film.
And then she fucks him at the dishwashing
Handcuffs
station.
him. Okay, that's the
and
weird
that's
part.
also her bed.
She
She
had,
sleeps
like-
on the ground, yeah.
She had.
She literally is
I
sleeping
feel-
on the concrete.
I feel like
She
she's
just had like a
she's pulling a
roll
Joe
up
Dirt.
sleeping bag.
like she sneaks in at the end of the night and just like shuts the door in that like maintenance area or something like that.
and just has
like a mat.
A mat. It was a mat.
She's living like a homeless person.
Under the sink, though, of all places.
under the sink, and it's like an industrial sink.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and handcuffs him to the sink, rips off her top, so
Yeah.
Shows her boobs.
there's Linnea's breasts.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't
Right?
seen those a million times.
And then proceeds to like kind of pretend to dry hump him.
No, because she has a slate. And she says,
Yeah, she's like, scene 3, action,
Take
and
one.
5, and 6.
And she's like,
and
take
scene-
one, take two,
Right?
take three. And
But
she's like going nuts, but
Not fucking him. His pants are on.
Yeah.
Right?
he just
But-
pulled it out of the
and she's-
dingle-dongle hole.
She's taking his hand and like rubbing it all over her breast. And like, she's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
But at the same time, you're like, what is happening?
Yeah. All of her
Right?
friends are getting credit
Just
for a
rapes
bust, and
him.
she's just almost. Because he's like, what are you doing? And she's just like, yeah.
for a
It's
porn-
okay
yeah.
if you've already had sex. It's not rape anymore.
I
Yeah.
guess not.
I mean, for a porn star like Chucky Long to be like, "What is going on?"
Then something weird has happened.
Something's going on.
So guess what? Movie over.
Yeah, right?
You think
It's
because-
weird. The credits roll.
Well, that's the weird part. Is like problem solved.
Yeah, they
Right?
arrested. They did it. They turned him in. No, actually not. They get there, and their teacher, who's just an asshole, it's like, we don't have a conviction. We can't, we don't have a confession. We have nothing to prove that this happened.
Also, I like. Never mind. That's later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it too. So
No, you don't. I hate this movie.
no, so yeah, she's like, so we can't give you guys credit because we can't arrest these guys. So they're like, oh man, okay, that's fine. We'll just go out and arrest a bunch of sex workers who are literally just working.
I don't get that. Like, why couldn't they give them credit? They gave
Because they said they couldn't get a
Holly.
conviction.
No, because she said
Did they not have that paperwork?
No.
no. The thing is that she said you committed a sex.
Oh,
act.
That's right.
You committed
A sex act in
you
order
willingly,
to do it.
yeah, you willingly
I'm like-
committed a sex act in front of an entire audience.
So did Keanu in Point Break.
you
No,
know?
which is interesting because they said that because it's really funny because that actually just recently became illegal in cop protocol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, undercover police officers can no longer now have sex with the people that they're undercover studying. So it was really weird that happened.
Damn.
Hand me your badge.
Jonathan's application to the academy was now withdrawn.
This entire show has just been an undercover operation for me to sleep with people.
It's not working very well, huh?
Give me
Yeah,
your
and then
badge.
they feel all bummed about it, that the legitimacy of this, and I guess the conclusion is that Chucky Long is still handcuffed to that sink.
Yeah.
The whole rest of the movie.
Yeah, we don't
until
know about him.
We get to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're going to go out and just bust these poor women who are just trying to make a living, who just like literally they just show up and they're like entrap them
Well, because they basically say you have until
tomorrow to get 10
to get
arrests.
those 10 arrests.
Yep.
So yes, they are entrapping people left and right. But it's just like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
It is like a
The
game
movie
of
literally like
Mousetrap.
ended.
Yeah.
Like they wrapped it up and then they called wrap that day and then they went back and this like meekish editor was like, I don't want to tell him. I don't want to tell Rick.
I don't want to
No,
tell him that we only have
It's only
30
45 minutes long. He's like, you mean what?
Yeah. So he just at this point they're propped up on the van,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, "Hey, so what we want to do is I'm going to go over there and I'm going to proposition this woman,
Yeah.
right? And we need to get her to just offer what her prices are.
Yeah,
right?
and then we'll arrest her.
Right. And Dwayne can't do it properly. I
Yeah.
mean, he's just going round and about. And then Shawnee comes up, always posing as a second prostitute.
Yeah, and
Who's
tries to like
undercut her.
yeah, and then she's like, "No, I'll do it for $10." And they're like, "Gotcha, we're cops."
Right? And they're always just like, Vice Cops!
Yeah.
No, what I liked about this scene with Shawnee is that the deal was, oh, I'll do it cheaper, and you get a continental breakfast. And I was like, this one time I was like, what is a continental breakfast? And she's all like, fresh squeezed orange juice, pancakes, and I forget the third one, but it was like,
Well, she was just saying eggs, and
Yeah.
then she was labeling the kind of eggs that she could make. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, and this was like, hey, this is my block. Why are you doing it? And it's like this whole thing is like, you know what? I'll throw in a box of donuts and I'll take $10 off.
And they're like, gotcha!
Vice Cops. Yeah. So
and then doubles down and be like, we got you. I don't even know how to cook.
yeah, that was funny. That was genuinely a funny
I
line.
don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know how to cook any of that stuff. And then they throw her in the van. They arrest a bunch of people.
Well, because that happens, right? They put that person in, and they go, by the time you get out, you'll be too old to even do phone sex. And I'm like, how long do they think the sentence for hooking is?
yeah, right? They're like, sex work is punishable with death.
I mean,
and then it's like we did not even see that scene because then they do it again.
in front of the same spot. Like
Right?
it was like the spawn rate, like in a video game, just like ticked back over and a new enemy spawned in the spot. It was like they were XP farming. They were just like, "Kunk, kunk, kunk, kunk." All right, cool, there's the experience. And then it's like, here's another one.
Vice Cop!
Vice
and they
Cop.
do the exact same
Yep,
thing.
same
and
bit.
Then, and then they go in and she's like, oh no, Penny, you too!
Yeah.
They got me! Right? And they're like, oh, we can't keep this up. We're not going to get 10 by the end of the night. They're like, well, I know where there's an entire prostitution, like,
Ring happening in a laundromat.
and I'm like, well, if you know, hasn't Vice already taken care of this?
Yeah, they're all keeping it a secret so they
Right?
can do it themselves.
So they go to this laundromat, and then Dwayne's like, I have an idea. I'm going to dress up super rich.
Yeah. He walks in there like an Arabian Shah.
Like a sheik.
Like a sheik,
Yeah.
yes. He's like, and he has a terrible accent. I'm not going to do it because it's fucked up.
He's like, I've got the money.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're like, oh, how many
But
of
he's
us?
just wearing a sheet.
Yes.
All he's
and a
doing
belt.
All he's doing is just a dude in a sheet. That might have been like some guy who was trying to do his laundry and he can't even carry the sheets, but apparently it's a costume. And I'll give you this. The sombrero thing, fine. Some loony chicks going to
Whatever.
Rosarito.
South of the border still exists.
Okay. But when you walk in, it's 89, man. As a chic, that I'm like, whoa, you guys really went out there with this.
I don't understand why that was the costume of choice.
I don't know why he just didn't walk in there. It's like, hey, with all the money.
Yeah.
The director was like, no. You have to be fucking racist.
Yeah,
It's funny.
They'll see right past that white people shit.
Everyone loves Mickey Rooney's performance in Breakfast at Tiffany's. We need to up it.
Tiffany.
Also,
I've never seen that movie. I don't know.
also, it's like even if you didn't know it was his ring, like all these women at this time of night are hanging around in a laundromat. I mean,
Okay.
come on.
In their underwear?
So what they're saying is that like they take them back in the back.
In
of
the back, and
laundromat,
they have sex
right?
with them.
So what I found weird about this part is also that he goes, I have $150, and then and they were like, 150 will get you all five, right? All five of us. And
That's
I was
some
like,
cheap.
holy shit! I was like, I have $150 right now,
No, that is cheap.
right?
Just
Yeah.
for reference.
Because could you imagine if like you actually use this movie to like being like, this is real life? I'm
Yeah.
gonna just go out and ask five girls. I got 150 right in my pocket.
Just this reference, the first one they bust gives out her standard price of 40. She says, I'm normally 40, but I'll do it for 30.
Right. What would you think inflation is now?
I
What-
did the math.
Oh shit.
It's double. It's about $85.
Oh, that's not even worth it. That's so little.
$85.
But is that? I mean, does any of us here know what?
It's pretty
You
expensive.
just went to Vegas.
It's very expensive. No, I know a lot about sex work, and it's very expensive.
Okay.
If you, like, let's just say, it's terrible to say, but let's just say that those girls are high-quality girls, right? That's going to run you like $1,500 to $2,000 an hour.
That
Well-
makes more sense.
Well, even then,
even at that time.
yeah, even then, if you don't want to take into account like your average sex worker on the street,
wasn't
because
even Pretty Woman like 200, 500 or something
Yeah.
that
Like-
she was asking?
Yeah.
him?
take
Yeah.
it for example, like the Bunny Ranch, which actually has like real rates that they're not private about.
Yeah.
You have
It's just on like a flat screen now.
Yeah.
you have to really walk
Digital.
in there.
It's actually on a ticket booth like at Disneyland, and they got surge pricing.
Can I get a room hopper? There it is. I just broke Vicente.
When
These tickets are no good. They're just for one room.
Hey, I got a fast pass.
when Star Trek Con is in town, it goes even higher. The prices just erupt.
When the fast pass like becomes between 7 and
You
8.
okay there?
He's dying. No,
I
so
broke him.
Warning, you will get wet during this ride.
oh my
You're
god,
done.
Oh man.
no, so
Pregnant women and people with heart conditions should not come in.
no, no, so he arrests all those women, all five of them. He takes them back, and they're like, "Oh no, we only have 9." So,
Oh, but not before. So, oh yeah, they got
Yeah,
9 girls.
Yeah, so
Okay,
they're like,
we're on the right path. Yeah.
Shawnee has an idea, so she goes inside, and this guy walks in. And the only reason, it's such a throwaway scene, but the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I don't know if, it's past your guys' age range, but the guy that walks in is Darren Norris, who is the voice of Cosmo on Fairly Odd Parents, and the janitor in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guides from Nickelodeon shows, and this is one of his like early roles. Was what he was doing.
Okay.
Wait, it's the army. Oh, a sailor.
Yes, he's
sailor.
like an admiral or some stupid shit like that.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, he walks in.
he's just straight up like a grunt.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she no, his character is it just says Laundromat John. Oh, okay.
He's just a John.
And he's just John.
Yeah.
That's
That's you.
Yeah, it's me.
No, so she shows does she show her boobs to him? No, she's just wearing that lingerie.
Well, she's wearing like lingerie, and over top of that, she's wearing like an April O'Neil jacket, like just a fully yellow trench coat kind of jacket. And then when he propositions her, she immediately takes that jacket off, and it's just like, boom, I'm doing laundry.
And she's like, "Why do it in the back? I've got this
laundry
bag right here,
giant laundry bag."
He gets in,
and she's like, "Get in, and I'll service you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay," like,
Yeah.
it's just super dumb.
he gets
Why
in.
is everybody so dumb?
I don't know. He gets in. She ties him up. They throw him in the back of the van.
But he like kind of almost willingly. Yeah, he's like, "What's going on here?" She's like, "You're under arrest." He's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
right. And then he kind of like, because now he's in a giant sack. He like bunny hops out to the van with her. Like, there's no. It's
she
not
doesn't
like
have to
she
like
had
drag him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Okay, boing."
This is
boing.
my life now.
Right? And then they try to put him in the back of the van, and that's when all the sex workers are just like, "Get him!"
And they revolt.
Yeah.
And they're like literally strangling Daryl with a crowbar. And he's like,
Dwayne? Yeah,
And he's like, "Ugh," and no one's doing anything to help him.
No. And so they take over, and they're like, "We're gonna take you to Queen Bee."
Yeah.
Right?
Let's take him to the warehouse that we own. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really weird line too. Like, "We're taking you to the warehouse that we own."
I'm like,
Okay.
what about this prostitution ring right here? Like,
Yeah.
is that not your headquarters?
No, that's just one of their franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not their main. It's not their main lair.
And so they're on the way there. They're okay, guys.
This is a scene we got to put up because
I will put this.
this
up.
is so good.
This is insanity. Okay,
Just the logistics of they go from downtown LA, and then they're at the Griffith Observatory, which anyone from LA will understand.
that is
Nowhere
quite
near
a drive.
That is like 45 minutes without traffic because you have to go up that windy hill.
Yep.
By parking now.
There is
There may or may not be a bowl concert going on.
there is 14 people inside this van. And it fucking flips.
Well, because like you hear a police siren, you see police, and they're like, "Oh no, police!"
Yeah.
Right? And then it's just like,
right in front of the observatory, like
and the van just like flips on its side and just scrapes right up against the front parking of the observatory, and then they're just in there, and like it doesn't even cut to them; it just is like the van laying there, and you just hear somebody call a tow truck.
yeah.
And then immediately the scene flips over, and it's an establishing shot of the van. Fine.
Driving. Yeah.
It's already at the warehouse.
At the warehouse.
It's parked in the alley of the warehouse.
But like, what did the cops do? How did the truck just magically get flipped and it's okay?
Yeah.
I feel like that the prostitutes got out and made Dee Dee, Dwayne,
Flip it.
Shawnee reflip it.
It's like a warthog in
What Dee Dee is not. It's just
She's
Shawnee
not with them.
and
Yes,
Dwayne.
yes.
Dee Dee was still in the laundromat.
She escaped.
Right? So Dee Dee has called Chucky, who
He's like, "I'm still tied up, you idiot."
he's still handcuffed to the
Yes.
sink, laying in
Yeah.
her bed.
His arm should have fallen off.
He's a skeleton. He's just like wasted away.
He's just there like, yeah, I'm still where you left me.
It's just
right?
like, "Oh, I left a key under the phone. I thought you'd be smart enough to find it." It's like, you
What
gave
would-
me no hints.
What would make you think that?
You're a cop and you handcuffed me. You think I'm looking for keys?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So she's like, unhandcuff yourself and come help me. So
Yeah.
he does, right? And so this is the part where basically Shawnee and Dwayne are,
Tied up.
but not.
Yeah,
Because
it's
the
so
rope
loose.
is just, I mean, it's just there.
It's just like thrown on them.
yeah, it's like somebody just threw rope on them.
Yeah.
And Queen Bee introduces herself as the head of the prostitution and drug ring in L.A.
And she looks like a Venture Brothers villain. She actually is a bee.
She has like a beehive. She is drinking
honey.
Yeah.
And she has a bee stinger on her butt.
That looks like an oversized little light up thing for a battleship. It's just on her back.
Oh, like a big peg?
Yeah, like a big peg on her back.
And she's just like, oh, I'm the leader, right? And then basically there's a guy, because there always has to be a guy henchman apparently to the leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys pretty much cost me and my girls about $1,000, right? And he's like, I'm going to take it out on your ass. And for what I guess, you're about $950 short. And I'm like, what happened with the 50? Like,
Yeah.
Did they already beat them?
They're
Like,
each worth $250 or $25, yeah.
I don't understand that.
Do you know what we totally glanced over?
What?
Is the scene back at the police station before they go out and do this sting where Cherry Pop shows up and is like, I'll testify against those guys.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, we got him. Nah, whatever. We'll let them do this other sting.
Well, because that's that weird subplot of Davenshaw that doesn't come to the end.
Yeah.
Like, you figure out that she had ulterior motives the whole time.
Yeah, she just fucking hated them.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she shows up in the middle of all this mayhem and is like, I'll testify against them.
Oh, you mean Cherry Pop.
Cherry Pop. And they're like, oh my god, these guys, these count for their people and blah, blah, blah.
So at this part, Queen Bee reveals that the reason why they haven't been able to catch this operation before is because they've sent 5 undercovers to them, and somehow they've caught them and sent them overseas into the sex trafficking ring.
Yeah, which is, again, like, fuck, that's dark.
It went
but
from,
also, like, how?
No, it goes from what, Tyler was saying when it went from Cherry, that this is, like, underage, the whole porn scene. And then it goes into human trafficking.
Yeah, it's just
white
so
slavery.
dark.
And I'm quoting Queen Bee. I'm not saying, this is what she said. Oh, we, very casual. Oh, we just sold them into white slavery. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's dark.
1989. Folks.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, and make sure, put them in the boxes. And make sure you put holes in them because we forgot last time. I'm like,
right?
Whoa.
So, in a callback to the beginning of the movie, Dee Dee has gotten Chucky to record himself as like the chief of police being like, come out with your hands up.
Which I have to say is the best acting he did the entire movie.
Sure. Which was so funny. And she's
that
like,
was his best acting.
how are you so good at that? I think he says something like, I've played a cop before or something like that.
And she uses her lipstick with the gunfire noise and the police siren Banaka in order to trick Queen Bee and the prostitutes to then just run all around the warehouse
Scooby-Doo their way
lost.
out.
I felt like it was Spinal Tap where they get lost and they can't find the stage. And they're just trying to go around in circles.
Queen Bee does make a funny joke where she's like, oh, the cops aren't going to shoot at us. They've got these people in here. And then the gunshots go off. She's like, oh, no, they're rookies. They'll shoot at anything. And it's like...
Well, and as they're running around, and I'm like, one, this warehouse can't be that big.
No.
Right? It doesn't look that big. But also, it's just like, Jesus Christ, you're the head of the drug and prostitution of L.A.? You can't even... Like, you just turned into the same dumb bimbo broads that are trying to catch you.
Yeah, and she does say that this place is a honeycomb of mazes.
Mm-hmm.
To further drive home, she's a bee. I don't.
For no reason.
It was like if Adams West Batman got too real. Yeah, she was that kind of villain.
Yeah.
Hey, Robin, we gotta bust this child pornography ring. I don't know, Batman.
You shut up. I'm on drugs right now anyway.
Holy statutory, Batman!
Is that a kid? Sometimes you just can't get rid of a pedophile.
Yes.
But yeah, so they
especially if you're the parents of abducted in plain sight.
Oh no! Bringing it back.
My therapist told me that I need to be around children at all times. Well, that's what your therapist said.
Sounds good to me. Whatever.
Yeah, my daughter's in the back.
Do you need a doctor's note?
Watch this.
Okay.
No, it's good.
So then,
we are not joking about how that just went down.
It's fucking insane. Like I said, they are not very good people, so don't feel bad.
So then, just like Tyler said, they go all Scooby-Doo and somehow say, hey, this is strange, and they walk themselves into the van.
The van, yep.
Oh, not before the bouncer dude. And this is a callback to the how do you take somebody down, right?
That's right. We can't forget our gratuitous booby shots.
Right. So
he's like beating the shit out of Dwayne.
Yeah.
Which I thought at this point they were done, but no.
No, he's like, freeze! And Shawnee's just like, boobs! Right? And he's like, oh! As if he's not always around sex and prostitution. Like, what?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a great pair.
Which is what he says, too. I was taken aback by just amazing set of breasts.
Yeah.
Like,
and then she kicks him in the balls.
Mm-hmm.
And then they win they win the fight.
Right.
Then as you're saying, they get into the van.
Yeah, I this is where I wrote I literally I have it right here. I wrote, are you fucking serious?
They just like literally like they weren't even in like a tunnel or anything. They were just like, yeah, this is right. This looks like the interior of a van. That's what our warehouse looks like. It's cool. Get in.
Yes, they got like they parked the van up against the exit door.
Yeah,
and they like opened the exit door and was like, yeah, let's keep going.
And it's fucking daytime. It's not like it's nighttime and they're tricked.
Dawn.
It's dawn.
Yeah.
They get in, and this is one of the baffling shots. They get in, they close the doors, they cheer. Yeah, we got him. They smack the back of the van and say, get him out of here. All three of them are standing behind it, so I don't know who's driving the van.
Okay,
but it pulls forward, and then they're like, oh shit, graduation.
Chucky is in the driver's seat.
He's driving it. Yes.
He's in the driver's seat. Because I noticed when they were getting in, there was somebody in the driver's seat, and it was like blondish hair and stuff like that. So it was Chucky.
But what I love about also that scene is like the fact that if you look close enough because of the alley, you can see the two set PAs who were standing there cutting off anybody walking into the scene.
Well, it's the same woman smoking.
That actually was an uncut scene from the movie, that woman standing in the scene.
So at this point, they're like, let's race to graduation, right? And
they almost kill everyone at graduation as they're flying in.
Meanwhile, graduation is happening, but like nobody is present.
Yeah, it's weird. And they're doing it in like a public park.
It's
at a public stage.
It's a public. I feel like it's the bottom of Griffin Observatory in some public amphitheater.
This is where I wrote, there's nobody at graduation. I was like, is this all fucking fake? There's nobody to see these girls graduate.
No, here's the thing. No. It's a movie. It is all fucking fake.
I know, but like, meaning like,
no, I know. Is it just like
operation?
Yeah, just
is
a
Vice
weird
Academy
thing.
not a real thing? It's just like the chief of police is a fucking perv.
Yeah,
you know? Like
so they get there and we learn the ulterior motives of
so
the
van almost kills everybody as it's like they for some reason it's not like they can't stop.
I got no brakes.
Yeah, I don't know. Wild card, bitches.
They jump out. They jump the curb onto the grass. I thought they were gonna go through the benches. I really thought they were.
And so at this point, as everybody's running away, Holly's graduation gown comes off,
and she's just wearing lingerie under it.
As you do.
It blows off.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
It's like somebody had like fishing twine and was just like, and now.
Yeah,
I think it was like part of her Ginger Lynn's contract. The obligatory is like, well, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Right?
But the teacher's ulterior motives are exposed, and it's not even that.
So
yeah.
At this point, so they're like, wait, please, we can graduate. We got 10 arrests. And they look in the back of the van, and Mrs. Davenshaw looks and counts, and she goes, wait, there's only 9. And so, like, they're like, sorry, you can't graduate. And then Chucky has this, like moment of being like, you know what? They just didn't turn me in yet because I had good behavior. Like, I'm like, you gave yourself up for this girl who handcuffed you to a sink?
Only character in the film to have a character arc.
Yeah.
Literally the only person.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's also revealed where Mrs. Davenshaw, like, basically, they're like, oh, but wait, we didn't need this many people because Cherry Pop, who just randomly is like, hey, guys, I'm here!
And she says the funniest fucking thing. my workout video went platinum. That's not how movies work.
I didn't know how that went.
They don't go platinum. That's music.
It's literally she's all
Unless
like,
it's Gene Simmons sweating to the oldies. Not Gene, I mean,
unless she said like,
who was it? Sweating to the oldies.
Yeah.
It's not Gene Simmons. That's kids. Anyway.
well, anyway,
I can't remember his name.
It's Simmons, but it's like I can't.
Richard
remember.
Simmons.
Simmons with the shorts.
Good old Dick Simmons.
Release the Richard Simmons.
Come on,
bot.
ladies, get those butts a moving.
Oh my God, sir, that ass is gonna blow.
I wanna rock and roll all night.
So anyway, they say that, and then there's like she's all like, she could have said my sales are in the thousands or something like that. With my sales right now, I can retire at what? 18 or
At
something?
18.
At 18,
right.
which is like again like a pretty good.
Jesus.
That one was actually a pretty good joke.
But what they reveal is that like basically we didn't tell you three about the fact that your prostitution sting what became legitimate because somebody testified, right?
Yeah.
And it's all because Miss Davenshaw was just holding that from them.
Because she was jealous. Because she was the previous record holder.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, and then they broke the record twice over.
Right?
Because they got 20 arrests.
But then I'm just like, okay, wait. So is Chucky arrested still?
Yeah, I know. It's like he's like, I sacrificed myself. Really thought this was going to pan out better for me.
Yeah, because he's there sitting there. He's all like, hey, is there money in those workout videos? There sure is. Sweating it with Chucky Long or pumping or something.
Jerking with Chucky Long.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, is Chucky arrested or not?
I don't think so.
No,
like,
because
there was just like,
listen,
well,
the
we
only
got the
crime,
prostitution ring, so it's fine.
yeah, the only crime he committed was having sex with a child, and that's that's forgivable.
And then, so the movie ends, but not before we have an entire like cast photo from the park.
Yeah,
right, like literally everyone, and it says at the bottom, like a graduation would be, right? The cast most likely to get a sequel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that was just like, I think,
Rick Sloane is so confident that he's like, it's got titties and it'll work.
Yeah.
And then 5 movies later, he
was
proved
there
the
any like making of trivia to this at all?
It was just that they kept shooting without permits. It was all
and
shot
everybody
guerrilla.
was like using their own costumes and cars.
and their own
stuff.
cars. Yeah. It was all like I said, it was all shot with
Jesus. So this one was rough. I think it might have been rougher in certain moments for me than Future Shock.
I honestly would say, I think this is a good segue into would you recommend this or not. This is quite possibly the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've seen some shit.
Don't make me watch movies like that.
We've got 5 more of these.
Yeah, we got 5 more Vice Academies.
Maybe, you know what? I won't watch it first thing in the morning when I wake up.
To be honest, when I've seen the trailers of the other 5, they seem like they get more fun.
Yeah, I think they figured it out.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I think that's...
I think there's more titties, so don't even worry about it. There's something to look forward to.
Yeah. So would you recommend?
No.
I mean, I didn't have to ask, really.
Honestly, yes. I think so.
Why?
This movie's fucking weird. And I just think, like, I would definitely, if you're listening to this, I would say watch it. And then you recommend it to your friends. I'm saying you should watch it. It's wild.
I would say yes in the sake of to troll them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I'm not going to say no because I want you to experience this.
Well, because somewhere deep inside, I feel like if there is 5 sequels,
something went right.
Yeah, well, I mean, but no, that's not a good justification because like this isn't that good and some it kept going. But like I want to say that somewhere somebody like this,
yeah,
a bunch of pervs on USA Up All Night, I guess.
Hell yeah.
You know? But I would say that somewhere deep inside I feel like they do get funnier or better as you go, and you need to know where it came from. You probably don't. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to blank here. So
for the ridiculousness of it, because okay, I'll say it this way: like we all have experienced this now. You guys have experienced my nights of like we have nothing to do at work and we watch a crazy movie, right? This would have been pure fodder to watch with a bunch of friends.
Yes.
And just rip on it in the moment.
Yes.
That's how I recommend you
Okay.
should watch this.
When you say it like that, compared to the fever dream you showed me with Raiders of what?
Raiders of Atlantis.
Which it was bizarre. I had no idea. And especially to watch something like that at 2 or 3 in the morning, I woke up, saw the movie, fell asleep during the movie, woke up, and I still didn't know. At least with this one, I know what's going on in a sense, as ridiculous as it is.
So maybe this is the kind of movie moving forward that we watch together.
Yeah, all together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say so.
So, yes, I'll recommend it in the sense of watch it with your friends. Be like, watch this bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's free on our YouTube.
Yep. So, Jaw scale?
I don't even know if I can put it on the scale.
It doesn't make
Yeah, it doesn't. It's
No.
not Michael Caine worthy.
Jaws 5, the Jawsening.
I'm accepting.
What was all the Jaws from, like...
I know, right? Yeah, from Deep
even
Blue
the
Sea.
shades of gray.
Jaws starts a family.
Yeah.
Jaw ready for this?
Oh, I missed doing that. I forgot to do that. Jaw ready for this. Oh, yeah. Jaws 19. Jaw ready for this. That's the level. Okay, so we obviously really hated this movie.
But my favorite line was, "Oh, where are you going? Going to the corner of Cahuenga and Lanker." What was it? Lanker.
It wasn't Lancashire like
No.
it should be.
Yeah, it was Lancashire or Lankerskis or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I was like, why are you not trying to... Yeah, that's a real intersection. But we had an opinion, but some people had extremely positive opinion. And these are what we call Give Me 5. These are 5-star or 10-star reviews called from Amazon or IMDb. First one is... What? Tyler does these. You know.
I don't even know which one you're looking at.
This one is written by Reverend Phil.
Reverend.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to hear this. Then.
Dated December 20th, 1998. So, 9 years after they
9
came
years.
out, right? Titled, "This movie has made my life worth living."
Whoa!
I hate you so much.
He had the rope around his neck and the stool below him, and he saw this come on up all night, and he's like, all right.
Thank you, Rhonda. This is the greatest straight-to-video movie ever made. The whole series is great. So bad that it's good. The corny script, the bad acting, Rick Sloane delivers all the crap in a talented way that I'm sure no one could reproduce. It all makes me so giddy, I'm even in the fan club. God, I love this movie. So, I should have been more...
He's
so
not
you're
being
still getting the
blasphemous
hang
if
of
he's
this.
a
That's not one I
reverend.
would normally
Yeah.
ask you to grab.
The problem was, even on Amazon, there was no
It was
no
either
reviews.
tongue-in-cheek or...
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. But normally, no. If somebody acknowledges that it's so good, bad it's good or something,
Yeah, it was
try
hard to
stay
find.
away
It was
from
hard
it.
to find any. Yeah.
Yeah. You're getting it, bro. You get it.
I just like the starting line of this next one.
Okay. So, and the last one, written by movieman_Kev, July 19th, 2004, titled, "For Better or Worse, Mostly Worse, was a USA Network up all night staple." Well, you got that.
Yeah.
That's how I started this off. Two borderline mentally retarded vice girls. And an... Let me compose myself. Because as I'm reading ahead, I'm just like, oh. Two borderline mentally retarded vice girls and an idiot man-child partner arrest whores in this insanely stupid, quote, comedy from supremely untalented Rick Sloane. The fact that Linnea Quigley is in it makes it a tad less sucky, but not less sucky enough for the film to be watchable. For some reason, I wonder what Christian Barr, who plays Tracy Lords, Cherry Pop, is up to nowadays, though. Oh, that was Tracy Lords?
No, it was a.
Remember how I said it was an illusion?
It was alluding to her career.
Got it. My grade, D. DVD extras, director's commentary, interviews, Ginger Lynn Allen filmography, and theatrical trailer. Eye candy, Ginger Lynn Allen as Holly, Linnea Quigley as Dee Dee, and Karen Russell as Shawnee all show breasts. Wrong.
No, yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Ginger Lynn doesn't show any breasts.
No, she just shows her butt in a thong.
Unless he has some sort of unrated version, right? Don't get excited about it.
I've never seen it.
Also, director's commentary?
That's why I was like, this is a good one. We gotta find the DVD.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay. Touche. All right.
Yes.
I will dig. I will scan I will actually go onto the forums
and find it.
Yeah, I will try to find it because I need to know what Sloane was thinking.
Dude, that opening line. 2 borderline mentally retarded Vice girls and a man-child.
Right. So that just about does it for Vice Academy.
Good
that was
riddance.
A rough one. So next, the next one is Showgirls, guys. So like I said in the top of the show, if you are in the Southern California area, please join us for Showgirls, February 23rd, 7 p.m. at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. Tickets are $15, and they support a good cause, us. So, Vice. It's, like I said, 7 o'clock. Please join us. It's going to be an amazing time. Showgirls is one of those can't-be-missed movies that I'm so surprised that before I picked it as a movie, I hadn't seen, and I was shocked at how crazy it is. So please join us for Showgirls, February 23rd, Saturday, 7 p.m. Tickets are still available. www.thefreedocinema.org/events/bombsawaylive. Also pick up t-shirts at tpublic.com by searching Bombs Away Show. All our previous shows' t-shirts are there, as well as some of our partners and friends that we sell through our partnership program there. So pick up a whole bunch of things VHS related and Bombs Away Show related. Other than that, follow us Twitter, Instagram, all social networks at Bombs Away Show. If you want to write a more personal note or you want to have us guest somewhere, you can reach out to us, contact@bombsawayshow.com. And then last but not least, we want to make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. That's very important. And if you're like, hey, I listen on something other than iTunes, you can rate and review us on Facebook. So please help us out. That goes a long way. And share with your friends, family, anybody who you think would enjoy this show. Please. It helps us so much to get that word out there. That's it for me. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Vicente.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm a horny stud. Open up and let me in. I'm going to rape you until you split in two.
I need you to degrade her more.
God damn it. That line fucked up.
This has been a production of Big Bulb Entertainment, executive produced by Jonathan Young. For more media and information, visit us at www.bigbulbentertainment.com. Big Bulb, what's your bright idea?